2020 has been an intense year for everyone on the face of this planet. From COVID-19 to social unrest, hurricanes in our Gulf Coast and East Coast, and now damaging wildfires on our West Coast. According to Matthew Cappucci, more than 3.1 million acres has burned in California this year alone. After living in California for several years and still having friends and family that live in the area, this is obviously something that is kept heavily on my mind, and I watch the news along with the rest of the country, check in with friends and family. This is something that no matter how far away you live, this can affect you. We all know the physical damage that fires cause. But what about our health? The sheer amount of smoke inhalation in one fire season is something that should be on everyone's mind, even if you're 1,000 miles away in Michigan. Trapped under smoke plumes as high as 17,000 meters are hundreds of thousands of people who have to undergo breathing the sometimes toxic, dangerous air. And that's according to Jeff Berardelli in the Washington Post. Now, when it comes to understanding this topic, there are a few factors that need to be considered. Pre-existing conditions, age inequality, and causes and prevention when it comes to wildfires. Pre-existing conditions for many are going to be suffering from asthma, COPD, and other allergies. When the crowded air particles are filled with ash and soot, and they are carried hundreds of miles away, it can be dangerous for people with those already crippling conditions. The inability to breathe, the needing to wear a mask before the rest of the country needed to wear a mask, and also reducing the amount of time spent outdoors. Even if they're not directly affected by the fire, if they weren't evacuated, the winds, the Santa Ana winds, carry the smoke inland and can affect those folks as well. Looking at age inequality, who does this really affect? It affects all of us, especially those citizens that live in California. But when we think about the youth of the population, underdeveloped lungs, breathing in the smoke has long-lasting effects on their overall development. They can show early signs of asthma and also allergies. The other age group, very similar to COVID-19, would be our seniors. These are people who already have symptoms like COPD, they already have asthma, they may be on breathing equipment to get by. These people are also heavily affected when it comes to wildfires and smoke inhalation. Lastly, not necessarily age defiant, but firefighters, first responders, and people on the ground consistently breathing in this smoke day after day are developing worsening symptoms due to the smoke inhalation. So what's causing this, and how can California prevent it? Cause includes drought. That's the biggest notion of why we are seeing this influx of fires. Drought is increased by the ever-increasing population of California. The lack of rainfall, larger amounts of people, there's not a lot of water to go around. We are seeing the drying season start earlier and lasting much longer. The longer the wooded areas and the mountainous areas have time to dry, the easier they are to spark. And it doesn't take much. According to Kendra Pierre-Louis, California fire recordings began in 1932, but the largest 10 fires have happened since the year 2000. Largest in history was this year, the LNU Lightning Complex fire. And again, that's over 3.1 million acres burned. So in conclusion, wildfires devastate homes, communities, and furthermore our health. Thinking about the groups that are being affected not only by COVID-19, but also suffering under these new conditions of the California wildfires. Ways California has been trying to prepare for worsening fire seasons is widening roads for evacuation routes and making sure that every household has an emergency plan for if and when a fire is going to affect their area. They're also looking at water preservation and conserving the groundwater, keeping what little they have in the natural environment. Look, we all need oxygen to survive, and now more than ever, healthy lungs is so crucial during our current pandemic. And now understanding these lasting effects will help you better understand the struggle the citizens of not only our West Coast, but parts of Australia are going through during these wildfires. And keeping in mind certain things we can do to reduce our carbon footprint, reduce water use, and help the already struggling West Coast.